The scene is set in John Stanhope's office within the Odyssey Theatre. Not an hour after his meeting with Mr. Schmidt, John is contacted by Eric Summers, the Nosferatu he's seen play at his card table for quite a few nights, and a member of the infamous coterie known as the Home Team. John has given the invite for Mr. Summers to allow himself in through the staff entrance rather than going directly through the casino. And there our scene will begin.
Eric walked through the south entrance, not sure what to expect, as he's never really had to ask a Primogen for a favor yet. He does remember the one thing one of the few things his sire was actually able to tell him. That's that vampires don't do anything for free, even if they don't say they're expecting something in return. He's trying to think, considering he's already kind of working for the man. Um, he begins. He walks towards where he was told the office was, and knocks on the door.
The door is opened from the inside by the same bald, tired, grey-suited servant. He allows you in and then slips out, closing the door behind him. Ah, Mr. Summers, please, come in.
Eric nods. It's good to see you, Mr. Stanton.
It's good to see you too. Can I offer you a refreshment?
Yes, please. Regretfully, I've not been able to get a hold of other uh, the other folks in the I believe it's the home team we call ourselves. They can't seem to they haven't responded to my the texts I've sent them. It's I'll keep I'm sure they got the message though. But,
That is a shame. Plenty of work has come and gone since we last spoke. But it would be most profitable if your coterie, he says, pulling a small glass bottle out of his desk, pouring generous portions in brandy glasses for the two of them. He slides one over. He pulls out a secondary glass, more plain, for himself. He takes a appreciative swig, swills it around his mouth, breathes in even though he doesn't need to, and then spits it into the other glass. Ah, the youth of today. So much more
yeah,
invigorating, flavor-wise at least.
indeed. I've not had the pleasure of hunting recently. I've been a bit busy um, covering up my well, as you've said yourself, I am young. There are certain foolish things you do when you're young, and hopefully, and I'm sure if there was anything you did when you were, after you were first embraced, well, you obviously learned from it. You're still here.
Unfortunately, in the Ventru clan, one does not get second chances. If you make a mistake, it's usually your last. But you seem to be a little anxious, Mr. Summers. What is trouble?
Yes. Well, we we aren't as shall we say strict. I don't know if that's the word as the Venture Clan. I seem to have gotten myself into a little. snag because of my over-reliance on my, well, powers of the blood, so to speak. There's a certain man who caught a glimpse of me after I had been seen in the, well, now I know it's the Giovanni Hospital, I'm fairly certain. I was attempting to take it upon myself to cover up a masquerade breach alone, but that, in and of itself, was a foolishness on my part. I met with an older member of my clan, who, when he was done chastising me for foolishness, he let me know that I could perhaps find someone of a clan who specializes in the mental disciplines, I believe they're called, that allow you to possibly change stories a little bit. Uh, I was foolish enough to let myself be seen in the hospital. It would be, it could be traced back to me or back to the existence of our kind, which would not be very good. I'm dealing with the other consequences myself, of course, but there's that matter.
It can't be so
I was
bad.
wanting.
If someone saw your natural form, surely they would have been screaming bloody murder by now.
He seemed to. He seemed to just nod and go back in the elevator, but it is in the police report, and I think it would be beneficial if, well, if he was discredited. If his story suddenly changed and the police found him to be just a crazy old porter who makes up stories and is seeing things.
The masquerade is our highest concern within the Camarilla. However, Mr. Summers, I will need details of this incident. It is imperative when using my gifts. This is exactly the sort of work I used to do for the clan before my arrival, covering up little misnomers and changing memories. I'm quite adept at it. But it does require a level of detail. I need to know exactly what happened, Mr. Summers.
Eric, out of character, I might leave something out. So, Eric begins at least recounting the hospital side of it. He's not. Mr. Stansoap didn't ask about. Assumedly hasn't asked about the guy he was trying to eliminate. So he doesn't bring it up unless Mr. Stansoap asks. He begins explaining the. Eventually, but he begins explaining the incident with in the elevator and getting off the elevator and the shooting, which happened later after he had already missed the porter.
Whoa. Shooting in a hospital. I think we're going to need a bit more backstory on this, Mr. Summers. I'm going to do a quick manipulation subterfuge, because John's heard the story, but from a different angle.
I think...
I will spend a willpower on this, because I know you're very good at starting lies. Thank you. Card games. Ah!
Oh.
Yeah, John,
Wait.
doesn't fumble.
What am I...
Because he spent the willpower. But you can see... I'm not going to make you roll, because your dice are going to... You can tell. You can see that John's already... You expect he knows more than he's saying. Definitely. But he wants you to reveal more.
Eric, I went there with my ghoul, and she's the one who shot someone because she saw that I was being, harmed in some way. caused her to lose herself a little bit.
Harmed? How were you harmed?
And, well, I was being detained at the door, and I guess she didn't like that.
I see.
So in her mind, I suppose that implied harm, because we were running. The security guard, well, he remembers a porter and that woman. That part I didn't mess up. It was the incident in the elevator.
What happened in the elevator?
Well, I had forgotten that I had bumped into something, and my obfuscation wore off, and someone saw me in the elevator. That porter I mentioned, the first porter I mentioned. Sorry.
I see. Who exactly was this person you were trying to assassinate in a hospital?
Well, he was a man who was attacked in the park by someone supposedly disguised as the Tremere Primogen.
Going to do a quick all specs flash on you. Perception, empathy. Do you know anything more about this incident, Mr. Summers?
Well, wait, do I get an opposed roll for that, or is it just...
Yeah, if you want to lie, yeah. Or, if you're telling the truth or omitting the truth, then you can sort of describe, like, depending on what you feel my successes give you, your body language. Are you anxious? Are you, up to you.
Okay, well, I'm going to roll first and see what I say from that.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Hey, ones are my friends.
I love ones. Every time I get tens, I get a one that cancels it out. Only when my specialty's involved, of course.
Hmm.
Okay, Eric seems a bit anxious, but he's like, well, it depends on what more information there could be that you would want to know.
Mr. Summers, I made it quite clear to you that I am here to help you and yours. I wish for you and your coterie to thrive, to help my own ends. But if I am to do this, I have to know every detail. You can trust me, it will not leave this room.
I see. Well, as I said, some of us make foolish decisions, and the reason I was in the hospital was because I was the one who foolishly got the Tremere pissed off at me. They don't know it's me quite yet, but there was someone hacking into my IP address, and I'm pretty sure someone is following me. It could be the police have found traces of my ghoul, or it could be someone in the Tremere. But my landlord thinks I'm someone named Dolph, who from the Netherlands, who pays in cash and he never sees. So that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Out of character, that is meant to be the guy, James, the guy's name, for good reason.
I see. So you're telling me that you took on the Tremere Primogen's face, shot a Kine member, and then when you were going to try and finish the job, once the Kine was in hospital, you were seen by a porter in your true form.
Yes, I was in a hazmat suit, which was also a foolish disguise to wear.
Well, how's
And like
that?
I said, I'm dealing with the flack from possibly getting the Tremere mad at me. It is the potential implications of the masquerade of the porter in the elevator that I am most concerned about.
Why did you shoot the kine?
Out of character, which one?
The first one.
Uh,
In the park.
that was actually... No, I didn't shoot that man in the park. And actually, he just beat his face in. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting confused.
The security guard was the one who was shot. The first guy was just smacked in the face with the butt of a gun.
So, 'cause I haven't seen the scene, so I'm actually trying to piece together what happened. Why was your target put into the hospital in the first place? Was that due to you?
Yes, that was due to me.
Okay, why did you put that person in the hospital?
Well, I lost myself for a moment and became very angered. I can't even remember why it was, but it was. And my clanmate that I talked to, that I mentioned earlier, he also um, had a conversation with me about controlling emotions in kindred society.
I see, Mr. Summers. It appears that you are in very deep trouble. My various contacts have told me that the Tremere are very upset over this little action and believe it is a intentional attack upon them to discredit their primogen. Do you have any idea of the political implications of what you have started, Mr. Summers?
I have a guess. As I said, I did have a conversation with an older clanmate who explained to me just why what I did was very foolish.
If I become involved and I am caught, I will also have the ire of the Tremere clan, something that I cannot afford at this given juncture. But that does not mean I'm going to leave you out to dry, Mr. Summers. Now, what you did was exceedingly foolish, but something that you can use to your own benefit. If you will agree to it, I will broker a peace with yourself and the Tremere. You will say that you were hired by a kindred to discredit Tremere. You made a botched job of it, and you attempted to rectify it yourself, which is where it became all clumsy and muddled. You will probably be able to survive this encounter, owing the Tremere, most likely, a boon or two, but you will survive. And it will focus this anger from the Tremere in a more positive direction. Do you understand what
Eric thinks a moment, rubbing his chin. Yes, that seems to be acceptable. I know that I am, well, my associates and I are working for you already, and
Now, for this to work, Mr. Summers, this will require more than your superb ability to lie and to see others' lies. Because the Tremere are not stupid, and they are also gifted with the mental disciplines. So, what I propose is that I fabricate your memory. I will create this fictional person who hired you. Then, if anyone asks, you are telling the God's honest truth. How many others know the actual truth?
he thinks a second. Just my clanmate, Cody, who talked to me about, the foolishness of what I had done, or failed to do, rather.
Well, once you leave here, I need you to speak with your clanmate via email or via message. We need to ensure that he doesn't blab. Everything hinges on this being a secret. Afterwards, I will meet you in a disclosed location in which no one will think to expect either of us. In fact, if you are so gifted with obfuscate, you can probably even slip into this casino, if I make sure that the security allows you. I have a particular recreational area underneath this facility that has been magically warded against such indiscretion.
I think the thing about the powers is that any cameras you have will just see right through it. Just to let you know.
I'm well aware of the limitations of obfuscate, Mr. Schmidt. But cameras are on rotation. Hiccups in circuitry can happen. Then we will rewrite your memories. We will then say that in your fear of being caught by the Tremere, you have come to me and confessed everything. I will broker a deal where I will bring the offending party to the Tremere, and we will discuss terms of your, well, continued existence. Giving up your employer because you are young and want to make a name for yourself, and you have never met or have you? Have you met the Tremere Primogen?
I met him once.
I see. You did not understand the full importance or implication of what you were doing. You were but a pawn in all this. And then, well, we will be thick as thieves, you and me. I will help you pay off your debt to the Tremere, and you will help pay off the debt to me. This is the proposal I put down, Mr. Schmidt.
So are you going to change my name to Mr. Schmidt too?
Ah, sorry, Mr. Summers.
Apologies, a little joke, Mr. Sanford. Yes, it is acceptable. It will, depending on who you target with this, it would benefit you as well, I imagine.
Why?
If you have a particular kindred in mind, which is entirely your purview, of course. They are your memories. Or your... yeah.
Why, Mr. Summers? Everything I do is for the Camarilla. The target will be a mutual enemy of the Camarilla, of course.
I wouldn't, I don't doubt you, Mr. Santo.
Excellent. You just need to make sure that your clanmate is on board with this.
I will meet with him in the next few days. I do believe. I will have to inform him. I have his number, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Good. Well, excellent. It seems you've had quite a rough time of it, Mr. Summers. And with that, John brings out the rest of the bottle and slides it over. Relax. It'll be over soon.
Eric nods, taking a small sip out of a glass. Well, it should be a learning experience. I will certainly be much more careful from now on.
Yes. Our powers are useful tools, and a necessity for some of our kind. I'm not unsympathetic. But a true kindred doesn't need his powers to get what he wants. If you look at the Ventrue in this city, ask any kindred, how many times have you seen a Ventrue use his powers? And they will quizzically quirk their eyebrow. Because they're a wonderful safety net. But it takes true eloquence to get what you want without being so crass as to use blood magic. That finesse I can teach you, Mr. Summers. And once you have unlocked those secrets, the kindred world opens up like a wonderful jewel, yours for the taking.
Yes, it is something that you learn, I suppose.
You are still young. Your sire was not kind to you, but you have found your way here, and in good hands. Now, enough of business. Go. Enjoy the casino. Rob me of some more money. Enjoy.
Eric stands and extends a hand to shake Mr. Stansoaps. It has been a pleasure doing business with you.
John
I
shakes his
will,
hand. I always look
might
out.
try to. And thank you. I will have to be going now. I have some money to steal from you from the casino. He
Excellent.
he gives a smirk and leaves the office.
John steeples his fingers. Well, good things come to those who wait. End scene.